Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Kalterkrieg as New England. Now, last video, war broke out in China, and we are trying our best to stop that war. Maybe not stop it. Make sure we have the guys who we want to win. Very insightful and coherent, I know. We can't push back there, but we can hold along the river. Current wars. Middle Africa has some stuff going on. Mission Decord. Current wars. Do we not get to see the surrender progress? It doesn't look like we do. Let me head over here. Oh, now he's let's get the main battle tanks going. Upgrade them. Get more flamethrowers. Good times. Oh, I thought they were being circled, but it looks like they made it out. Good on them, but it's looking a little rough right now. Oh, okay, then martial law. After this is done. Very nice. Alright, let's get it keeps weirding me out for someone trying to look somewhat close to Rice or Kai, right? Kind of does, yeah. Ruling party suffer setback in New York. Boo. Okay, let's go ahead and end martial law. Well, with the last syndicalist holdouts either in jail or dead, the governors of New York City, New Jersey, and Eastern Pennsylvania can finally lift martial law. With this action, the Second American Civil War can finally be put behind us, and civilians of these states can return to peaceful civilian life. Today, President Raymond Baldwin has traveled from Boston to Philadelphia for the reopening of the once famous Independence Hall. The hall is most known for the location where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were signed. During the Second American Civil War, however, the hall was nearly destroyed during syndicalist shelling of the Battle of Philadelphia. Luckily, due to our government's reconstruction efforts, the hall has been completely restored to its pre-war glory. President Baldwin began his speech by thanking the construction workers and speaking about the Founding Fathers' wishes and dreams of American democracy. Unexpectedly, Baldwin concluded his speech with an attack on the American Union State, calling its leaders traitors who stand against everything the Founding Fathers fought for. Regardless, after Baldwin's speech, a grand celebration took place later that night with hundreds of fireworks to light up the sky. The spirit of America will endure forevermore. We'll do field hospitals. It's no secret that New England's civil rights movement is heavily associated with former syndicalists and left-wing demagogues. New York City was both a hub for the syndicalist revolution and the center for African-American population and culture to the north and the northeast. And it is because of our government's enshrined right to democratic elections, it's become quite impossible to truly remove the specter of syndicalism from New England. The assimilation of New York's American Labor Party into the establishment-aligned New England Progressive Party, many socialists now operate with the full legal protection of our government. Among these leftist specters in our government, none are quite as prolific as East Harlem's congressional representative Vito Marcantonio. Something like that. He's a Cindy. He doesn't deserve his name properly pronounced if it's wrong. As Representative of Harlem, Vito Marcantonio has spent his entire career fending off Democratic wolves sent by Tammany Hall for his congressional seat. While with a progressive platform of labor rights and racial equality, he's become a hero of Harlem's working class. As one of the state of New York City's first congressional representatives to the New England Congress, he's worked tirelessly to ensure the unions and minorities of New York are not forgotten in the wake of Civil War. His particular affinity for the African Americans, Puerto Ricans, and Jews of New York City, and has utilized his position to protect their interests in this new political climate. He is credited with convincing then Connecticut Governor Raymond Baldwin to end poll taxes in his state, and has relentlessly pressured Beacon Hill to outlaw them on a federal level, to supersede Vermont and Maine on the matter. He was also a driving force behind making lynching a federal crime in New England. While we were at war with syndicalists less than a decade ago, we now have learned to work and even thrive with them in the government. But he's also tied to labor leaders, so he holds a nuclear opinion against Congress. As he pushes his civil rights agenda, he is more than capable of utilizing his union connections to organize strikes and protests at a moment's notice. In a climate where longism is considered more dangerous than socialism, we must grin and bear his progressive agenda, lest we see what he's capable of. It's not like we could remove him from office if we tried. Why are we even funding the New York Police Department? Not only is he Cindy, he's a fucking Italian. True. Get a professional military. Got a couple options. Let's get Bethlehem Steel going. Those extra construction. Trying to hold Wuhan as best we can. We're holding in okay. With the ongoing conflict between the New Jersey State Police and the Klan, the cross-burnings and death threats to Catholic and African-American communities has only increased. New Jersey's Klan has become emboldened by its battles with law enforcement and seems to have used it as an excuse to run wild. With their operations spreading into Pennsylvania as well, a third party has entered the conflict, the Second Knights of the Flaming Circle. Taking their namesake from the burning crosses placed outside their churches, this Catholic vigilante group was revived in response to the resurgence of Klan activity in Jersey. With Klan sympathizers often holding roles of sheriff or even judges in South Jersey, the Knights believe they cannot rely solely on law enforcement to protect them. They collaborate with unions and recruit the unemployed to stage coordinated armed counterattacks to protect minority communities, as well as their own Catholic churches. Is South Jersey becoming Northern Ireland? What the fuck? While the governor has announced vigilante justice, few people can argue with their results. Courier News reports that New Jersey's African Americans trust the Knights more than the state police, and are willing to join them on patrol. In a bizarre turn of events, this has somewhat increased trust between black and white communities, who have begun to shed blood together in arms against the Klan. Still, the National Guard has been called in to prevent, on at least one occasion, to intervene in night activities to prevent South Jersey from becoming a lawless battlefield. On the national stage, pundits debate whether or not the Knights of the Flaming Circle are some sort of civil rights crusaders or lawless vigilantes impeding anti-lawless investigations. No courts can jail the citizens' arrests made by the Knights, and their raids cause the other Klan cells to go to ground, making it harder for police to build their cases. Despite this, the other Klan chapters further north have notably kept their heads down since the formation of Second Knights of the Flaming Circle. Perhaps they are afraid of being arrested as a consequence of the Grey Scare, or maybe they're shaking in their boots, thinking about a broken jaw and extended hospital stays, courtesy of the Knights of the Flaming Circle. I thought the Civil War was over. Yeah, these guys had to retreat from Wuhan. I'm not surprised. But we got our org and our supplies mostly back, so let's head back in. Democracy restored in Poland. Interesting. On Friday morning, May 1949, a hazardous material truck transporting over 16,000 liters of carbon disulfate began its weekly drive from New Jersey to New York using the Holland Tunnel. Despite being illegal to transport carbon disulfide through the tunnel, the truck driver had been taking this route since the end of the Second American Civil War. Halfway through the tunnel, however, one of the barrels of carbon disulfate became detached from the bed of the truck and ignited after the vapor came into contact with a passing car's exhaust pipe. The blaze started a panic among drivers in this underwater tunnel that alerted firemen to the accident. The Jersey City, New York City Fire Department spent the entire morning evacuating drivers and attempting to put out the chemical fire. After 5 hours of battling the toxic fire, the New Jersey Fire Department put the fire out at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The fire would kill over 66 drivers, almost entirely due to smoke inhalation, and would kill one firefighter and a laborer from Philadelphia. The truck driver would only receive a misdemeanor for the accident. However, many of the New York and New Jersey governments are moving to pass legislation to force trucking companies to engage in higher chemical inspections. Disastrous. Me when the Krieg is called. True. What is this, some kind of Kalterkrieg? This is horrifying. I think it might be based off of real events. The HoI conference. Interesting. Switzerland led by... No, it's not NatPop, actually. Switzerland was originally NatPop. And, like, they were, like, North Korean parallel. But I guess not anymore. German military in Ukraine. Interesting. Ruling party en masse. 40 versus 41. Uh-oh. CCF in Canada. That's interesting. Coronation of Henry VI. That's not good. Which one's the CCF again? Yeah, okay, it is like the lefties. Okay, interesting. Ending martial law. Beautiful. Gonna guess. We'll get options to core these states soon, I'm gonna guess. Let's get a new suburbia going. In New York City, a building firm has created a new town called Leviton, which takes medium-sized homes and mass produces them across 7 miles. This new type of housing has been targeted at veterans of the Second American Civil War and has already seen mass success. Our government shall fund more projects like Levittown across New England to reward our veterans. Where does it... That sounds familiar somehow. Ooh. There we go. New Jersey and Pennsylvania's statehood were both officially taken up by the New England Congress today. The House will take up it first, which is expected to pass nearly unanimously. Only a very few partisan Republicans oppose it, as the progressive and democratic nature of the new states are likely to hurt Republicans. In fact, the two new states are very likely to cause President Baldwin to lose a re-election. He has acknowledged this, but he has reiterated that reuniting the United States is more important than his re-election. Actually, very based of him to say that. Welcome back to the Union. Opening at the local cinemas, the award-winning movie Lost Boundaries. The movie follows a Carter family who are African Americans and must pass as white to retain their home and careers. Ooh, no problem. Thanks for hopping in, Kev. Good luck with whatever you got to do. Keep me posted on the polls, by the way. Please do. The family must ride out the segregation, racial discrimination in both white and black communities. Notably, the movie makes a direct stand against segregation in both the American Union and New England. This movie has been praised as being a direct counter to segregation across the former U.S. and is a stark contrast to typical portrayal of black actors in cinema. While New England and Pacific state audiences are enjoying the movie, it has been banned in the American Union state for challenging the racial norms. Regardless, it seems that the Hollywood has competition from the New England Film Board. What a show. Alright, so 84 out of 84 and 16 out of 16. Let's do it. Eight years after their occupancy by the Army of New England, New Jersey and Pennsylvania have officially been incorporated into the Commonwealth of New England States. Their statehood came after a report was presented to the Joint Congressional Committee on Mid-Atlantic Statehood, which detailed the process of desynchralization and reconstruction of a region. While the report was not exactly conclusive about how many socialist sympathizers remained in the territories, the committee has generally expressed frustration and impatience at how long the occupation has lasted. It was no secret that President Baldwin was hoping to delay Mid-Atlantic statehood until after the 49 election, but Democrats in Congress threatened to torpedo the rest of Baldwin's agenda if he and Republican majority in the Senate did not take up the issue. The committee has met routinely and held hearings since 1945, when the related committee on New York City was dissolved. Speaker of House John McCormick has made it clear that he would not wait until 1950 to take up the issue of Mid-Atlantic statehood, and almost as soon as General Willard Wyman, the commander in charge of the occupation, finished testifying and submitting his report to the committee, McCormick immediately took up the bill in the House of Reps, granting statehood to the states of New Jersey and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Just catch a bit and greet a call. I will. Senate Majority Leader Irving Ives did not have much of a choice but to follow suit, giving Wyman's testimony that the occupation was costing New England's taxpayers an arm and a leg and was no longer necessary. The bill heads to President Baldwin's desk, where he's sure to sign it. While Republicans have put on a brave face and make vague statements about the triumph of democracy in former syndicalist regions, it is the Democrats who are ecstatic, as two new states are expected to be dominated by the Democratic Party. The Union grows. We've got conservative Democrats and also conservative Democrats. Notable amount of progressives, though, in both of these areas, even. Yep. New state. State is brand new, etc. Charles Edison. Like Thomas? Oh yeah, we are holding the line very well in Wuhan. Although they have taken Nanjing. That's not good. Not too worried, though. Well, I mean, they've pushed more into... How's Savoy going? To, you don't do that. Do that either. That sure is interesting. Let's go over to Speed 5. Upstate New York. Some upset going. Danubia has a nuclear program, go figure. Soon after the passage of the Mid-Atlantic Statehood by Congress, Speaker House John McCormick announced a joint congressional committee on Mid-Atlantic Statehood would not be immediately dissolved, considering how poor the economic situation is in the new states, as testified by former commander of the occupation, General Willard Wyman. Speaker McCormick and Senate Majority Leader Ives struck a deal to form a new commission to investigate how poor the economic situation truly is in the region. They announced that under the jurisdiction of the commission, the Delaware Commission will be formed to fact-find and write a report on the state of the economy in the new states. Named for the major river flowing through the region, the commission will be headed by John Kenneth Galbraith, a Canadian-American economist currently a professor at Harvard. Galbraith has traveled across the devastated Steel Belt, including to the Union State, and studied the post-war economics extensively. With confidence of both Democrats and Republicans, Galbraith is expected to fact-find and write his report over the coming months, and then return the committee with his recommendations. I hope this guy knows what he's doing. Ooh, we finally get to decide on elections. As party conventions wrap up, the general election campaign is now in full swing. The Republicans have renominated President Raymond E. Baldwin. He wields a classical liberal coalition, pledging to maintain a close relationship with Canada, enhance the power of big business, and be a powerful force in NATO. The Democrats have upstaged former governor of upstate New York, W. Averell Harriman, with his running mate, Herbert Lemon. Harriman represents a changing Democratic Party. He sees the party's roots as representative of the working man as a need for the party to change. He's maintained some socially conservative themes, tougher on immigration and more protectionist, but he has embraced some aspects of welfare and aims to increase government spending. Because of these campaign promises, many progressives have pledged to support him. Well, we'll have to figure out who we're siding with next time. I gotta leave things there. But thanks for watching. As always, gang, like, if you like, dislike, if you didn't leave me comments, react down in the comment section below. I read all comments again. Appreciate the feedback I have for you. Check out various links down in the description box below. Hit the sub button and the notification bell to keep updated with the uploads. Thanks for watching, gang. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.